Alrighty, so the topic that I would like to discuss today, it revolves around this situation in Texas where the governor had to send a lot of local law enforcement and possibly some National Guard troops, but I believe it was mostly local law enforcement down to the border to repel this large influx of Haitians who were migrating through Mexico. Now, the reason that I'm going to use this story today isn't so much about the immigration issue or even Haitians, but the point I want to illustrate is that I just want people to be honest when they're discussing these issues. That's the thing that bothers me most of all. A lot of my friends have been sharing this picture here. It's almost like a meme. And he's saying, serious question, where the heck or how the heck did this happen? So what they're doing is they're putting up a map and it's showing where Haiti is and it's showing where the U.S.-Mexican border is. And they're saying, hey, how the heck did people get from here to here in order to migrate through here? You know, when you'd expect them to try to get through Florida or something along the coast. Well, the answer to that question is actually quite simple, and is that the people went from Haiti into South America through a variety of methods over the last 10 years, and they've been kind of hanging out down there, and then just recently they started migrating north. The question about why they've started migrating north recently is perhaps a discussion for another day, but I will just say that if you know anything about the United States and who has been president of the United States over the last 4 years versus who is president of the United States now and their stance on immigration, you will understand why this migration did not happen before and why it might be happening now. On staying on the topic of being honest about this, it brings me to a video that I saw. There's a virus sweeping the globe right now. I've been told that if you mention this virus, your videos might get taken down, so I'm not going to mention it. But there's a lot of pressure to make sure that everybody is vaccinated. There's a lot of masks, a lot of places being shut down. The United States, I believe, is scheduled to shut down travel from the European Union to the United States very soon. So what happened was a reporter asked the press secretary about sorry, there was an inappropriate ad on the side of my screen, but luckily it doesn't show up on this. So he was asking the press secretary if all these people were being vaccinated, and there's something in her response that really caught me off guard, so I want to play that for you here.
Into the country, right across the river, does somebody ask them to see their vaccination card?
Well, let me explain to you again, Peter, how our process works. As individuals come across the border, and they are both assessed for whether they have any symptoms. If they have symptoms, the intention is for them to be quarantined. That is our process. They're not intending to stay here for a lengthy period of time. I don't think it's the same thing. It's not the.
All right, so the part right there that she just said is that these people are not intended to be here for any period of time. That statement caught me off guard because these people are not crossing the border. They're not on vacation. They're not coming here to get a gallon of milk and then go back home. These people are risking their lives, spending years traveling, trying to get to the United States to have it become their home so that they can have a better life for themselves. Anybody with a brain knows that that's the truth. And right here, you have the press secretary for the United States saying something very different than that. I don't think there's any way to classify that other than a lie. And I don't appreciate people lying about it. So when you have, I don't know where that meme went. When you have a meme like this, I don't appreciate people being dishonest about kind of what's going on here. I really don't appreciate it when the press secretary is doing something like that. And then you have some other things. When I was trying to figure out why the Haitians left their country, there was a variety of reasons. Some of them left because of earthquakes that happened. Some of them left because of hurricanes that happened. There was also a migration of people for one of the Olympics. And then when the Olympics were over, these people were in poverty and had nowhere to go. So there's a little bit of that too. But I came across this story and it just kind of cracked me up. It says Homeland Security officials will investigate after images show agents on horseback grabbing migrants. This story is mildly amusing to me for a couple of reasons. One, it's the job of Border Patrol to stop people from crossing the border. So I don't think that there should be any surprise by anybody that they're grabbing people when they're trying to cross the border. And then, where is it? I don't have the image up. I saw somewhere, sure my email's not showing there. No. I saw somewhere that people were accusing these Border Patrol agents of using whips on people, when this is clearly not a whip. This is the rein of a horse. This is how you control a horse. Just the lengths that people are going to spread mistruths about what's happening on the southern border is absolutely maddening. And for people who aren't paying attention, and I don't mean that as an insult, I just that there's a lot of people who don't pay very close attention to certain aspects of what's happening in the news. They might see one headline here, one headline there, and have a very different idea of what is actually going on. It's kind of sad in my opinion. So kind of my honest to goodness, no BS answer to what's going on the southern border right now would be that a lot of people from Haiti left their country sometime in the last 10 to 4 years. Then when President Trump was president, there was a lot of emphasis put on the southern border, telling people not to cross the southern border, and putting a lot of new security efforts in place for the southern border. Donald Trump is no longer president. Some guy named Joe Biden is now president. He has taken a very different approach to the southern border, and he's made that a lot of comments public about that. And that's leading people south of the border to believe it's now okay for them to go ahead and flood the border. I think the most recent estimate that I saw, there's some stuff here in these pictures, it said that there was something like 14,000 migrants trying to cross the border right now. The other thing that was mentioned was in this right here, that they're not intended to stay for a long period of time. No, there's 14,000 people who are rushing the border right now with the intention of becoming residents of the United States, and they fully intend to stay here forever. I'm pretty sure those are the facts of the case, and then we as a country are going to have to figure out how we're going to deal with the facts that have been brought to us. The best way to do that is to be honest, and people are not being honest right now. That frustrates me. It should probably frustrate you too. So hopefully we can get this solved. Those are my thoughts for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.